What's up, everybody? It's Bella. Welcome back to Stray Gods, where we had left off. We had found some more information out about Calliope, specifically the events surrounding how she died. We know, because we went to the reliquary to talk to Hecate and the Minotaur, and there's some love blossoming there, but we're going to read the journal and kind of cap off what we had done and all that jazz. So, let's look at Calliope's journal in character. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay, that was unexpected. Freddie and I went to the reliquary, not expecting much, and instead we found out that Astron, I don't know if I said that right, from Astron, that Calliope went there that night she died. Not only that, it's probably where she was attacked. She fled from the reliquary bleeding and probably went there to my apartment. It's bizarre though, what was she even doing there? Ariston said, well, she snuck into the reliquary, she didn't take anything. She set up the alarm and then ran out, chased by Astron and Medusa too. This is really major. How will I find out what happened inside her? Inside here. Or to her inside. There we go. And my theories were that it was Athena, right? And I think she knew that she wasn't going to take anything. And she was there to talk to somebody. I'm assuming Athena. And then Athena stabbed her and then she set off the alarm. Because there was also, Medusa was also there, but she didn't go in the reliquary, which is where she was attacked. So we have to kind of piece everything together. I'm thinking Athena. Everything's pointing to Athena. But no one seems to believe me. Okay, Hermes. We already did the Aphrodite. I don't think there's anything more with Apollo, is there? Okay, no, there is nothing more with Apollo. But there is something with good old Athena. Lovely. Lovely gal she is. Not really. Alrighty, where are we looking at? Okay, Ariston mentioned that Athena came to the reliquary the day after Calliope died, tipped off by Medusa, maybe? Or by Hecate herself, I guess. Athena swore Hecate secrecy about everything, but not Ariston, as he happily pointed out. But does this mean she knows what happened to Calliope there? Yes, ma'am, I do believe so it does. Okay, and currently where we are in the game, we were talking to Persephone, and we are about to go ask her some questions, but I do kind of want to read through everybody's real quick, because that is our episodically thing that we do, is read our journal, or at least try to do it every episode. I heard it mentioned a couple times now that Persephone used to be a gangster. Apparently her eidolon was passed on by Chastity, onto Chastity, the wife of a mobster who she replaced for a while, at least until Persephone's memory returned. This must have been, what, the 1950s? Pretty crazy to think about. Oh, hell yeah. She does have that vibe. Oh no, I didn't want to talk to Eros. Eros, my love, I'll meet you in the next playthrough, I promise. Alright. And to Pan, because I did go, the reason I went to the reliquary was to return the favor to Pan, so, yeah. So Freddie and I went to the reliquary to do Pan's little favor, and once you noted, that's where Calliope was attacked. That's where she was before she went to my apartment. This is quite coincidence, isn't it? There's no such thing as coincidences, my good friend. There's nothing more with him. Venus? No, because that's just from the party. Medusa, there has to be something with Medusa. Did I already read the top one? Yes, I did. Okay. Medusa's name came up yet again. Ariston told me that she was at the reliquary the night Calliope died, and that's also where she was attacked. He didn't seem to think Medusa did it. Maybe Medusa never got inside the reliquary, and that's where the attack happened, as far as he knows. But her presence there can't be a coincidence. Medusa either did it, or she knows something important about what happened. I think she knows something important about what happened. Hecate, I love the character model for Hecate. The art style for Hecate, I think, is just beautiful with the jet matte black and the metallic gold. Love it. Alright. Pan said that Pan said that Hecate, goddess of black magic, might be of help in my search. And he was wrong. Very wrong. What he didn't say why. The giant librarian witch goddess sworn to secrecy about anything related to her extra-dimensional tower fortress thing. Sounds weird. That's because it is. And she is. But she's also kind of earnest and cool, too. She knows the future, but will do whatever's supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen. I'll never wrap my hand around that. She's going to break her oath to Athena. She wasn't going to break her oath to Athena. At any rate, I had to go along with Ariston's crazy plan to woo her with the song. I'll admit it, I'm still surprised that she went along with it. My powers doesn't make anyone do anything they don't want to, so I guess deep down she wanted to love as much as Ariston did. I suppose her book tells her how their relationship turns out in the end, and it doesn't look like it matters to her much. I hope this means that she can be happy, at least for a while. Yeah, because it did kind of make it seem like they were going to end in a sad way for their relationship, which I really hope doesn't happen, but you never know. Get this, Ariston, who Pan sent me, is none other than the Minotaur. That's right, half man, half bull, but not really the monster all the stories talk about. Actually, I take that back. He's not a monster at all. He's adorable, awkward, a stuttering pile of man pudding who's hopelessly in love with Hecate, and he's desperate to have the help to hook them up. It wasn't all that hard, honestly. I think Hecate was lonely too, and it ended up she seemed happy to accept Ariston's hand when she was assured his love for her was real. And it is, I think. It really is. The two of them are ridiculously cute and weird together. It's adorable, honestly. Alrighty. Journal time is done for the day. Let's continue on talking to Persephone and asking her questions about the different gods. I'm not going to ask her about Hades yet. That one I'm just not going to cross.
You and her were good friends,
Oh,
right?
shit. Wait. Forgot a very, very important step, which is to plug in my controller so I can hear what the fuck's going on. Continue.
We were.
And
if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face.
Fair
I always
enough, fair.
considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Clio, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their idol on to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. I mean, Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you
Okay.
imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
Sisters of Beauty
I
does sound
never
nice,
thought
though.
of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Do
Well,
they?
we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the muses, it happened frequently.
Cool.
Everywhere Apollo went, they surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather his own fans.
How
If
did you
you
end up
just
friends
liked
with
the
Calliope?
muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
Yeah.
She sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before. Calliope asked for my help,
Yeah.
and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Aw. It's me.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred. She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it.
There you go.
What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in.
She just wants to be complimented. That's all she
Apollo
wants.
was furious. He and Calliope were barely speaking, but he was
Ooh.
certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus.
Nope.
Oh, I made taking her in all the sweeter.
Oh. Okay. But that didn't exactly answer the
After
question of how you guys
Calliope
became
in,
friends,
that's when
not
you
just how
became
you guys met
Oh,
and how you gave her the
no,
house.
not right away. I wasn't looking for a friend. What I was looking for was an opening act in the club.
Okay.
Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from performing to attracting new acts. She was in her element.
Okay.
She and I, well, we warmed up to each other eventually. She was more capable than I expected, and I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't
That's
seem
cute.
like the furious type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
I'm assuming it
then
didn't
you
happen
didn't
often.
really meet her.
Oh. Yeah, 'cause she did
She
start
was an
fights with everybody.
idealist, and nobody could ever quite live up to her standards for very long. Her brothers and sisters, least of all.
Yeah.
The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished
Sounds like it.
and unwilling to save their own skins.
Huh.
When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena.
We could all override her all at
I was
once.
to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols.
So what happened to that?
Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
Yeah, you guys didn't really do that. Tell me
I'd
about
like
the
to know
idols.
a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
Yeah.
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well,
What does that mean?
what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows.
I'm sure they do know, but
I
since their
remember the
memories
original
fade,
Persephone
the older the
only
memory is,
vaguely.
and as more you pass it on, I'm
Indeed, I'm not
assuming.
even certain she was the original. Or was there something before her? How did she get her idol on? I couldn't tell you. Evidently, we wrote
The
a little
Titans were
down in those
were
early
first.
days.
No, they weren't.
Were
There was. See, the thing is now, since I know a lot of mythologies, the two that I know the most about are Greek and Norse, and I get those two confused in the sense of how certain things play out. Like, Ginnungagap was the Great Void that it was nothing, and then it became fire and ice, and those two met, and that created life. And that created, like, the Titans, or I think there was something even before the Titans. I don't know. And I don't remember what... I think, no, it's giants, not Titans. Titans Greek. See, like, I just get confused as to what happens. So, like, I especially in the beginning, like, they're how they start, how they end. Those two I get confused all the time with.
Simply isn't.
How can you not know where you're from?
Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens? Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods
Bitch,
are
you guys
okay,
are fucking
but
Greek
aliens
gods,
are
but
just
aliens weird?
wacky
Yeah, what she
fiction.
said.
Fine, yes. It is strange. Well, our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many.
Yeah.
The last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed.
That's gotta suck.
Athena calls that period the gap. That's what it feels like.
Those cookies are special cookies. Not in a good way, though. Those cookies are... They do something with your memory. They make you forget. They make you do whatever. And they produce a gap, right? She made the cookie. She's like, you're going to forget everything. And then she did stuff to control it. So she was the head of the chorus. She probably killed Zeus. She probably started the war because she's a tactical goddess. She's the goddess of war and technicality. Technicality? Is that a word? But tactile. She's tactical. She likes to plan her moves. She plays chess. She likes to plan her moves 3 moves ahead, plus some. Okay? Fucking Athena. I'm telling
All
you.
of us experienced it. And not one of us knows why or how.
It was Athena. I'm telling you. It's fucking Athena.
The
Yeah, I want to know more
you
about the gap.
mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had lives. I passed on my eidolon. I may have known who I was and what I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware.
That's weird.
All I know is that one day,
gotta suck.
Athena came to my nunnery
Nunnery.
near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back.
Okay.
My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant.
It
and
was
never
Athena.
returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
Athena did it.
Athena. I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must
Athena
have
did
been-
it. Someone fucking
Athena
believe me.
woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next
Sure she
century
does.
rounding up those idols who remained. Zeus, however, was gone.
I don't believe
What
it.
became of him, what happened in
I
Rome,
think Athena killed
we've
Zeus.
never pieced
She
it
got power
together.
hungry and she killed Zeus.
It's troubling.
How the fuck is no one else connecting these two things together? It makes it.
Tell me more about the
Put the
war.
pieces of the puzzle
Seems to
together.
have
They're all
strange
right next to
effect
each
on
other.
me.
They're making the picture, but they're not
Putting
connected.
it
So
mildly.
get to it.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
Honestly, after my mother was murdered, I barely remember.
Your mother.
Her name was Demeter. Not truly
I
my
say
mother,
Demeter,
but an idol
but
who
yeah.
had always cared for me since the early days. I thought we'd be together forever. Then Ares brought those filthy bastards down on us. Demeter was slain by bullets. By bullets. Until that
I
day,
don't understand how they're
believed we were
gods, right? And they're supposed to be
untouchable.
immortal, but they can die by measly weapons.
I'm
sorry
so
about that.
sorry. That must have been hard to lose her like that.
Yeah.
I watched her fall, heard her scream. I would have run to her, but I was pulled away to safety. By Hermes, I think. Whatever was left of the old Persephone. The innocent girl with the long hair who loved her gardens.
Oh,
She
the
died with
desperation in her
Denethor that day.
voice.
After that, I don't know. We went from hiding place to hiding place. I didn't even know what Hephaestus had done for us when I found myself on a boat.
Damn.
We might have been gods once. But after the war, we were just refugees,
Damn.
like so many others, fleeing to a
intense.
distant land.
Yeah. Was it hard coming here?
Was it hard for the idols to come to the new world? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
No.
Well, it wasn't the place that was hard, it was the fear.
Leaving home.
We knew we were vulnerable.
Being alone in
we
a new
knew
place
mortals could and would
I
kill
have no
us.
idea what would happen next.
Suddenly, there were rules. You know, we had to be secret. We had to
Yeah.
stay close together. We huddled in the shadows and quaked each time the mortals so much as
That's not a way to
breathed in our
live.
direction. We couldn't all live that way.
Yeah.
Some of us drifted away, faded into the night without so much as an
Does
explanation.
that mean they died, or does that mean they just
That's what's been
went
the hard
away
part.
and like moved away?
Our inevitable decline in a place where we don't belong.
Yeah.
We can pass on our eidolons as often as we like, but it will never truly be home.
What happened to the other muses?
muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
One of them was, though not like you think. The day we were to leave on the ship, Talia simply never showed up.
Hmm.
Do you know what happened
weird.
to her?
We never heard from her again. Apollo thrashed about in mourning, but Talia had been fading away for years. It wasn't a surprise to the rest of us.
What do you mean she's been fading
What
away?
about
Was
the
she
other muse?
sad?
Cleo.
Died long before.
Oh.
A victim at the hands of a mortal man, when she no longer possessed the power to bedazzle him. As I understand it, he kept her in a cage as a pet until her eidolon shriveled up and perished. He was dead before she was.
That can happen? Jesus.
That's pretty dark.
Yes, well,
Ugh.
we come by our wariness of mortals.
Your soul dies before
honestly,
you do.
Grace.
That is fucking symbolic to some shit. I don't want to ask her about Hades, but I'm going to.
Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just...
Incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
Yes.
That, yeah.
You know, one might think that my hatred of Hades began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it.
So what was?
I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen. But Hades himself terrified me.
Hmm.
He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When
Damn.
Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love. That the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Why do I feel like this is gonna take a dark turn?
It's funny how our perspectives change.
What happened to her?
If you got
What
along
do you
with
do?
Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades. A conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever.
So he
He
was.
went out of his way to
Was he
keep me
physically
small.
abusive or verbally?
I slowly realized
like,
that
He just took
Yeah,
control
he'd
over you in every
always
way,
been
shape, or
that way.
form.
manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome sneer. We battled for centuries.
Yeah.
I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me.
People aren't
He
property.
declared
Gods
that
aren't property.
I was his, and would stay in the underworld where I belonged.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I
And
hate
that's when you killed him?
That's when I killed him. Yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered
it. I
another.
don't like that smirk on her face. She's like, and I enjoyed it. You're punished for killing
I'm
him,
guessing
right?
the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
What do they expect her to do? Just sit
Yeah,
there
they didn't know what
waiting
to
for
do
him to
with me.
kill her after all
And
this
Athena
time? Because
was
that's
furious
what
that
happens.
the
It's called
most powerful
escalation.
remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it
They were
then.
thinking about killing you? Jesus.
In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder, and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Damn.
Which you weren't happy about.
No.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help. I was held captive.
Fuck.
And what was I expected to do? What, lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive?
I guess so.
No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May he rot in Tartarus with the Titans for all eternity.
Damn. How did you end up running the club?
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
I won it in a bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to
Dionysus!
be a story there.
Hell yeah! God
The
of
story
sex
is that
and
he was
wine.
a fool, but
Low-key, he's the god of
Trouble
orgies,
with
but
many
technically is
patrons.
it? But come on
They
now,
built
we
a
all know. If
nightclub
you know
as his
mythology, he is the
personal
god of
playground.
fucking orgies,
It
okay?
was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s.
Of course
I
it was
assure
the
you,
70s.
But, he didn't know how to run a business. By the time Disco was ready to die, so was his stupid club. So I offered to make it profitable.
Please tell me we can meet
If I
Dionysus.
succeeded,
Oh my god, that'd
he
be
would
amazing.
turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus
happened
ever
to him?
sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far, that
Okay, so
hasn't
he's still
happened.
alive. Of course, he's drinking. So what's up with you and Apollo?
What's the deal
Probably
between
because
you and
he
Apollo?
didn't stop.
The way you two fight.
I
Stop
told
fucking
you
Hades
how he
from
and the other
kidnapping her.
idols stood by and let me rot with Hades. Did I not?
Yeah, but it feels like there's more
It
there.
seems more personal than that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's an old saying that no one escapes the underworld. But that's not true. I did. Once. Not long after Hades kidnapped me.
Okay.
I was homesick. And I missed my mother. Charon took pity on me and allowed me across the Styx. And after that, Grace, I waded through darkness itself to get out of there. Hades chased after me relentlessly, but I evaded him, right up until I got to the very slopes of Olympus. And who do you suppose was the first idol I met?
Apollo.
Uh-oh.
Apollo stood there. I cried out to him, begging him not to let Hades take me, and yet Apollo did as he has always done. Absolutely nothing.
Damn.
Hades was thrilled, and I knew then and there I could never rely on my so-called family for anything.
That fucking
Ever
sucks, dude.
That's all I can think of for now.
I don't know what to. I'm trying
I'll
not
see
to
you
cry
around.
because this is like
Oh,
so relevant
yes.
in
That's where I'll
nowadays.
be.
Like the victim is
Around.
always the one who gets blamed for everything, and they try to get for help or. Let's read the journal. It said there were journal updates. Alright, this is Apollo's character bit in the journal. Persephone finally explained what her real beef with Apollo was about. Once she escaped the underworld with Hades hot on her heels, and when she got to Olympus, the idols ran into Apollo, and he did nothing. I'm trying to imagine what it would be like to be dragged away by a smug Hades while the brother you thought would help you had to know how desperate you were, just stood there and let it happen. I can't help but wonder if that's the entire story, but even so, it makes sense now why they hate each other. Of course it does. Is Athena have anything? Probably not. No, she doesn't. Okay. Pan, no. I need Persephone, maybe? That would make sense why she would have one. Okay, she does have one. I think that's the... Oh, she has two, actually. Huh. And I think that's the only thing that would be updated. At least I assume so. Anyway. I finally learned a little about what Persephone and the other idols went through during the war. She told me how Demeter died, how Ares betrayed them to the enemy. Just think, one day you believe you're God for real, and the next you realize how vulnerable you are. And that has to mess with all your heads, not just Aphrodite's. Finally, I know how the whole story of Hades and how Persephone murdered him. You know that? You know what? Sounds like he got exactly what he deserved. Yes, it does, actually. Alright. Medusa's lair. Ah, damn. Alright. As much as I don't want to, and this episode might be a little bit shorter, I usually have like 40-minute episodes for this. This is like under 30. I'm gonna leave it here because episodes are just getting way too long, and I need to space them out a little bit and make them a little bit shorter. I'm gonna leave it there. Oh, also, in a previous episode, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, I said, oh, this game's only 3 hours long. That is the lie. It's like between 6 and 10 hours, actually. So it's gonna be, we're gonna be here for a little bit longer than I expected, but I'm not complaining whatsoever. But until then, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Medusa's lair. Next episode, we'll go to Medusa's lair, talk to her. I think it'll be a similar thing with Persephone, how she's been through some bad shit and she just needs someone to talk to, and then we'll be good to go. At least I'm hoping. And then Medusa would be like, hey, Athena did it. And we can go gang up on Athena and be like, hey, what the fuck, Athena? You know, and have a grand old time. But until then, my name is Bella. Hope to see you guys in the next one, and peace.